Welcome, yes indeed, to another edition of the most consistent, prolific, and dedicated uploads in YouTube history. Sean's View Entertainment on YouTube.com. Make sure to like this video and subscribe, where it's always prolific, consistent, and dedicated with your Raw review / Raw outcome. Special Memorial Day episode. My hat is off to all the brave men and women out there fighting for this country, fighting for what is right, and fighting for what is theirs. My hat is off to you. Cesaro versus RVD would kick off Monday Night Raw with major implications on WWE Payback. Now, this was a good match. Cesaro got the victory due to some outside interference, a slight assist from Bad News Barrett, but that built up 2 matches in 1 match, which was pretty damn good. Now, this was done in an effective way, as this did not make RVD look weak, and it built up Cesaro at the same time, because he's facing Sheamus at the WWE Payback pay-per-view extravaganza. Up next was Eva Marie and Summer Rae. Now, off the distraction from Fandango, easy for me to say, in Layla, Eva Marie would pick up the victory in a match that was about 5 minutes long. Up next was El Torito, Little Bull versus Drew McIntyre. This was the comedy act of the Raw. This was, I don't know, I didn't really laugh too much. I find it kind of horrible that Drew McIntyre has been regulated to this, but you know, it is what it is. And at least he's doing something. At least he's not just sitting backstage twiddling his thumbs, wondering when his next spot is going to be on the card. Up next, Bray Wyatt's message to John Cena, which would involve JBL and Jerry Lawler, John Cena and the Usos. This was a very effective segment. This really got over what Bray Wyatt's message is all about. Because you see, he said that Jerry Lawler, he blamed Jerry Lawler for John Cena's success because he always built him up at the commentator's table, talking all good about him and great, and how all these accomplishments and making him sound better than what he was, and just filling the WWE Universe with all this poison. And then all of a sudden, JBL comes out because he's trying to protect Jerry Lawler, because Jerry Lawler at this point is already, you know, almost into the ring, and then JBL gets attacked. And all hell would break loose, because then the Usos would come out. John Cena would come out, but he would get destroyed, because it would be a pretty much 3-on-1 attack. And then, like I said, the Usos would come out and they would even it up. But this was a great segment. Probably one of the best segments that Bray Wyatt and John Cena have had this entire feud. So I'd give that 5 out of 5 stars. We've seen JBL have to leave the announcer's booth for a little while, and Jerry Lawler, thank God, didn't take any more shots, because I don't think Jerry Lawler can afford to take any more shots at this time. But like I said, I definitely like what the WWE did in this, and like I said, it really gets you interested in Payback and what the next step is going to be. Up next, Zack Ryder versus Rusev. We saw what happened here. Rusev completely destroyed. Zack Ryder decimated him. But in the end, it would be Big E who would come out and make the save, because Rusev would not let go of the hold. Then up next, it would be Batista and Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes and Goldust, with, once again, major implications on Payback. We would see this match end when an epic RKO was hit on Cody Rhodes, and then another RKO finished off Rhodes. We thought the match was done. We thought it was done. Time for Batista and Randy Orton to hit the showers, but oh no, that was not to be, because the match was then reset into a handicap elimination match, no disqualification, where Goldust would get decimated by Randy Orton and Batista. So once again, you know, I like the fact that the WWE building towards the match at Payback and putting more insight and putting you know, setting the tone for what Payback is going to be all about, and giving us, like I said, a preview of what Payback could be like when it comes down to 2-on-1, maybe 3-on-1, 3-on-2, whatever it may be. Up next, it was Bo Dallas versus Sin Cara. Bo Dallas gets the victory in another impressive win. This was a good match, nothing too great, but it was good, you know. Then the WWE World Heavyweight Championship picture situation was addressed. Daniel Bryan would not give up the championship, but in light of that, Stephanie said, "Oh, I'll give you the Payback, and if you don't relinquish the championships, well, then your wife will be fired." So up to this point, Monday Night Raw has been good. I wouldn't say solid just yet. We still got about a half an hour to go, but we got the contract signing between the Shield and Evolution, so we'll see go. But up to this point, Raw has been good. It's been watchable, no doubt. And then up next, Alicia Fox would go back to her evil, conniving ways. I mean, Alicia Fox, what is her deal? What is her direction? What is she trying to accomplish? This girl has just went ballistic. She just went psychotic. I mean, all those words you can use to describe Alicia Fox, but I kind of like it. I am liking that the WWE is actually using her in this kind of way. I mean, you know, remember Victoria? Remember her in the WWE? Remember Victoria? You know, she had that kind of sadisticness to her, and she had that intangible where she could just flip out at a moment's notice. Well, that's kind of what Alicia Fox is like, but I think she turns it up all the way. So Alicia Fox has got a crazy side to her, and I'm not so sure if Paige is going to be able to contend with that. But up next tonight, we've seen Alicia Fox almost defeat Emma. Emma got the victory, but it did not turn out too good for her after the match, because Alicia Fox would attack Emma very aggressively. and she just went, once again, wild. She went crazy on the outside of the ring. And like I said, I wonder what Alicia Fox thinks about this whole gimmick going on. Hey, Alicia Fox is doing what she has to do. You know what I'm saying? So once again, like I said, I'm liking the direction of Raw. I'm liking how it started. I'm liking the beginning, and I'm liking towards the end. Once again, it's good. Good Raw. Right about now, I'd probably say it was maybe 6.5 out of 10 stars. We'll see as the show goes on. Maybe that's a little bit underrating it. Maybe 7 out of 10 stars. Maybe 7 out of 10. I'll go back and check my notes and see exactly what's going on. But like I said, you know, sometimes you see Raw and you're like, oh, when's it going to end? Oh, this is getting boring. Oh, my God. And you know, this Raw isn't dragging. It's not a drag for me. For you, it may be, but for me, personally, it's not. And how could I forget the breaking blockbuster news from earlier in the night? I told you that I was going to address this. If you look at the little caption when this video started, Brad Maddox was indeed fired tonight due to his actions last week when the Shield was doing color commentating when Triple H didn't want that because Triple H believed that that was not best for business. Now, Brad Maddox has been general manager since last year, but he hasn't really made an impact. He hasn't really done a whole hell of a lot, and Brad Maddox, for the most part, will not be missed. Like I said, didn't make any impact, was not significant, didn't really make Raw all that wild. Like, he didn't really change the game. He was probably one of the worst general managers of all time. I think Mike Adamle was a better general manager than Brad Maddox was. So, yeah, I addressed that. And then up next, it was Sheamus versus Alberto Del Rio. Now, this was a hard-fought physical match, but it looked like Sheamus suffered some sort of a concussion. Didn't look like he was all there. Didn't have all his faculties about him, so to speak. And after this match, even though Sheamus would still get the victory, it would be Cesaro that would attack Sheamus, and you know, it makes sense. He would target Sheamus's head. Sheamus, no match for Cesaro, already burnt out after the match and already concussed. So Cesaro getting the best of Sheamus after a Paul Heyman assist. So looks like Cesaro is building momentum to WWE Payback. And once again, Raw may have shifted to a 7.5 rating. Now we got the contract signed with the Shield and Evolution. We're going to see how that all handles. Subscribe. Oh, what I mean, did you think I was going to be done? No, I'm just playing with you. No, don't subscribe just yet. The show's not over. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we got the contract signing. What is going to happen when these two combustible objects get in the same ring at the same time? And that contract signing did not end up the way the Shield had hoped, because it would be Evolution that would be one step ahead of the game. Triple H being very cerebral in his moves and what he was thinking, because Triple H was already thinking ahead before he came out to the ring. It was a sledgehammer. It was underhanded tactics. It was a triple powerbomb through a table. Evolution reigned supreme tonight. Yes, when the sledgehammer came out, it was all but done for the Shield. All the Shield wanted to do was fight. But you see, when Evolution came to the ring, it looked like they were going to back off. But no, Evolution came into the ring out of nowhere. And the fight was on. Like I said, the Shield, they held their own for a while, but in the end, it would be Evolution that would get a step up in the competition. And if this happens this Sunday, well, then the Shield perhaps will be no more, because Triple H made it very evident. He made it sound very good, very compelling, that after Payback, the Shield will be no more. Evolution will reign supreme. This is the last we will see the Shield. And if this was Payback tonight on Raw, well, we may very well have seen the last of the Shield. Now, this segment, the last segment, I wish the fans could have got into a little bit more. I wish the fans would have been a little bit more upbeat and a little more boisterous. But that's okay. The segment was still, you know, succeeded. This Raw, like I said, I'd say it was solid. I would say it was solid in matches, predicaments, storylines, in, you know, the building blocks of Payback. WWE really centered Raw around Payback tonight, as well they should have. So I give Raw a solid 7.5 out of 10 stars this week. Maybe even could bump that up to 8 out of 10 stars. I mean, it's up for debate. It's up for discussion. Your comments, your opinions, the top stars of Raw, obviously the Shield, Evolution, you know, got to give it up to Goldust. You know, what an effort. And then Sheamus. I mean, there were a lot of top stars on Raw tonight. A lot of superstars stepped up and shined and maximized their performance. So your comments, your opinions. This has been your Raw review and outcome. Not sure if this will get uploaded today, tomorrow, or the next day, because I know a dispatch of monkeys were going to be fixing YouTube, because when you go to upload a video, they don't want to upload it for you. So the monkeys are working on it. So monkeys, go upload the video right now. So